I'm not working. Oh, there I am. Hello. Hi, North Carolina. How are you today?
I don't know if I did it right, if that intro was right with the Sonic. I don't really have a great Sonic technique, so... Oh, are you gonna show me up? All right, show us.
Well, it all depends. The setting all depends on how far up and down it is, you see. There are many thousands and thousands of settings. You have to be very, very particular, because it can do quite a lot of things. But there are still... Hello. I made that happen, look. That was just off. That's it.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll learn. I'll go to, I don't know, Sonic Screwdriver Technical School.
You have to get it just right, and just... It's all about the pitch.
All about the pitch. All right. See, I hope you're learning. We are learning something here today.
Doesn't work on wood.
Raleigh.
Unless the writers need it to, and then it does.
Before I throw this out to the questions, I'm gonna start with one, and I think it's appropriate for your first fan event. Welcome to North America for Comic-Con. 2015 happens to mark the 10th anniversary of Doctor Who's return, so especially appropriate that we have number 10 on stage. Pay me the big bucks, my friend.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit just about the return of Doctor Who 10 years ago, and I mean, do you look at all this and think it was a bigger impact? It's bigger than even before, and why do you think it's bigger now?
Why is it bigger now? Russell T Davies, probably. I think he wanted to bring Doctor Who back. It was his idea. It was his passion, and I think he reinvented it and made it something that connected with people. And Doctor Who has always connected with people. I grew up a massive fan. So, it was, and growing up, I think particularly in Britain in the 70s and 80s, it was something that everyone was aware of. It was part of the kind of cultural furniture, if you like. But the fact that we're here and that it extends around the world now, and that there's nowhere I can go in the world now, really, without a hat on. So, and I think that's got something to do with the way that Russell just tweaked it, and he didn't change much, and it's the same show that it always was, but he gave it, I don't know, what did he give it? An emotional accessibility, he gave it a heart or two. That the show had always had, but he managed to find a way that connected with an audience in the 21st century, and I think it's Russell's fault that we're all here.
Yay! All your fault, Russell.
Yay!
All right, let's go to a question at the line, and this is a really important one to start off with, because I actually think we have a doctor that's going to ask a question. a little doctor. Hi there, what's your question?
When you're when you're at your house watching Doctor Who, how does it feel like when you see yourself?
Good question. It's a bit weird. It takes a bit of getting used to, and it's usually not very comfortable. I don't really enjoy watching myself back in things, but you're going to get used to it. You do it because it helps you get better, hopefully, as well. So it's funny because I grew up as a fan of Doctor Who, and I used to, it used to be the show that I waited for every Saturday night with bated breath. It was very exciting. To then be in it is weird. In some ways, it changes how you are. You can never sort of be a fan in the same way again, because of course you're looking at your own ugly mug. It's quite hard to be entirely enjoying. And also, I knew what was coming because I'd read the script. So it changes. I experience it in a different way from when I was a kid, but it's still something. And now, of course, I can watch it and not know what's coming next. So now, I get to be fan of it, which is great.
Yeah. Thank you. I think on his next regeneration, the doctor should come back as you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, non-Doctor Who
question.
Okay.
I'm completely enamored with the How to Train Your Dragon series of audiobooks that you read. So you've developed so many wonderfully distinct voices. How do you do that, and would you demonstrate?
I don't want to make the poor man perform on stage.
It feels to me like there may be a chunk of the crowd that doesn't know what you're talking about. How to Train Your Dragon, which are very successful movies, forget about that. The books that inspire them are actually, they're quite different story-wise, and I've been doing the audiobooks of them for the last, 12 years now. And we're nearly done. I think there's one book to go. I've recorded the penultimate one, there's one last one to go. And they come out, and they're audiobooks, and you can get them now. I think they're now actually released in the States officially. And yes, I've been doing them for quite a long time, which goes to your question of how do you come up with the voices. It's getting really hard. There's 12 years and 11 books in. It's introducing another tribe. And I made this decision early on that I would use a different regional British accent for the different tribes. So that the hooligan tribe are Scottish, because I can do that. And then there's I can't remember what they all are off the top of my head now, but there's the Northern Irish tribe, and there's the West Country tribe, and there's the Ray Winston sounding tribe. And the trouble is, I'm all done now with regions of Britain. So in the final book, there's a new tribe of Vikings. They might have to be American. So, yeah, send me some sound files so I've got something basic.
Chicago.
So, you're literally going to go, who can I do? Which voices can I do? So there are various voices in those books that are based on certain people. Some people you may know, some people are maybe friends of mine. And I feel it would be unfair to say who they all are. But, well, for instance, Fish Legs is based on, you know that scene in Train Spotting? When Ewan Bremner is high, and he's having a job interview, and he starts talking and everything starts getting quicker and quicker, and his eyes are getting up. That's Fish Legs. So they're all sort of different people, but you'll have to figure the rest out for yourself.
I just hope
I've been answering questions on a series of audio CDs.
it's going to get tricky. I just hope for the next tribe it's like all from Jersey. Like maybe all New Jersey. Hi there. Or Minnesota would make more sense. Hi.
Hi, David.
Hi. How are you doing?
Okay, I want everyone to know that David Tennant just Joey Tribbion. That's my heart. Okay. So, my question is, they were obviously emotionally devastating for us, but which do you think was harder for your doctor? Saying goodbye to Rose or saying goodbye to Donna?
This is the tricky part about the cons, by the way. I should have warned him ahead of time. You are going to be put in uncomfortable positions. Asked to comment on former co-stars and like, who do you like more, this or this, and who was harder to say goodbye to?
Well, the hardest one to say goodbye to has to be Wilfred Mott, doesn't it? Because then it was his fault, frankly. Right. Because it's very hard to look at Bernard Cribbins and not feel moved, frankly. Oh, I don't know, it's an impossible question. They were very different, weren't they? Because one of them was well, they were both love stories, but they were very different types of love stories, weren't they? One was a best mate, and one was a girlfriend, Ray. I knew we didn't say it, but she saw it. So that's a very different, and I think what was tragic about the Donna one was that he had to remove all that joy from her.
Right.
All that, all those wonderful experiences, and I think that was the tragedy of that goodbye. The tragedy of the goodbye from Rose, of course, was that they could never see each other again until they did. And how quite galling to watch someone who looks like you, who basically is you, get to do all the shagging you didn't get to do. I apologise for my language.
It's okay, it doesn't count as swearing in the States.
I think we should move on.
I think the answer to go with is like, because now I'm telling you what answer to go with. I mean, it seemed like you had the hardest time saying goodbye to yourself, actually, and that was sort of unique within the show, you know? Like, you didn't want to go.
No, I didn't want to go. On that works on many levels, yeah. It was very, yeah, no, it was such a, you know, and again, we come back to Russell T Davies, because he created this extraordinary emotional journey that my character got to go on. You know, that there was all this tragedy. And, you know, he started off as such a sort of bouncing puppy. And 4.5 years later, he was put through several ringers. It was, but that's, you know, you play a character who ultimately has to be in the same position at the end of the story as he was in the beginning. You know, to find all those different emotional tunes to get to play as an actor through that character was such an extraordinary privilege, really. And that's what Russell did, and that's what the show continues to do.
All right, thank you.
First of all, thank you so much for coming here. It's the question is, was there anything at the end of your run as the Doctor that you were allowed to keep, and is there anything that you wish you could have kept?
What do I admit to?
The statute of limitations is passed, so you can't be taken in for anything.
Well, I got presented with a little box by Phil Shellard, our head of props. Gave me it was a little case, and within it there was a stethoscope and a psychic paper and a little torch, which we actually very rarely use, but that was also one of the characters' sort of props, and a sonic screwdriver. They were all given to me as a presentation box, which was a very lovely thing. And I've got a copy of the costume, certainly hanging somewhere, top secret location. I don't know that I took anything else. Did I take anything else off the set? Certainly nothing I'm going to admit to. But you know, we all need a pension. So, no, I think I just took what I was allowed to take. I think, remember it.
It would be awful at like a police interrogation.
I wouldn't tell. I don't think I killed anyone.
How did that work?
Let me give you some DNA just so we can see. Sounded good.
So nothing he admits to, but nice little test. You could always go back to the set now and then take something.
Oh, I do that now every time.
Yeah.
Blame it on Capaldi. He's very like fingertip.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Who's your favorite Doctor Who villain?
My favourite villain? That's tricky. I think it's hard to have favourites of any of them, really. It feels wrong to have a favourite. It's like choosing between your children. It feels, you know, that would be inappropriate. Favourite villain. I suppose if we're talking villains rather than monsters, which I'm going to choose to do, then I suppose I had a great time with John Sim as the Master. Because he was the Master, and also because he was John Sim, and he still is, I believe. So, you know, again, they were, just because they were great, sort of juicy stuff to get your teeth into, and when you're playing opposite someone as brilliant as John, and when he's playing with such kind of bonkers energy, and you get to play those wonderful scenes that are, you know, they're about story and they're about the jeopardy and they're also about character, and that's the stuff that's always so kind of that's the stuff that's so rewarding to do, I guess. And I like John, and he's a fantastic actor, so I'll see him.
The young lady actually ran away after you started.
Did she?
Apparently it was not a satisfactory answer.
I'm sorry. Who did you prefer? The attitude.
Yeah.
Hi, Glenn Finney. Good to see you again. My girlfriend Allison and I really have appreciated the return of Broadchurch, by the way.
Thank you.
You've done something with that beard. It was scary. And the hair on the flashback, I don't know what's going on there. I'm scared for you.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
But that's not my question. I will mention also that I'm very jealous you got to spend time with Liz Sladen, and good on you for that.
Yeah.
But my question is this. Watching you in Casanova, which was great. But when I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's things there that I see then in your Doctor, in the 10th Doctor. So my question to you is, how did you come up with sort of the characterizations and mannerisms you used in Casanova? And do you think some of that carried over? And if so, what was delivered and what just kind of leaked through?
I think what carried over, well, obviously, again, you say Russell T Davies, and he wrote both of them, as I'm sure you're aware. So, and indeed, the 10th Doctor, the very fact that there was going to be a 10th Doctor, came around in quick succession to the filming of Casanova. So, I think Russell, and indeed, that was in some ways my audition for the role, although I didn't know it at the time. So I think anything that I was doing in Casanova was probably influencing the way that Russell then went on to write that character, I guess. I think in some ways there was a lot of the Doctor in Casanova to begin with, because I think, you know, that sense of adventure, that sense of sort of wonder, that sort of puppy dog enthusiasm, I think, was something that Russell very specifically carried on from one into the other, and you know, they both look a bit like me. They're both sort of filtered through my lanky frame, so I guess they're going to be similar in some ways. But also, I guess that voice, the joy of language which both the characters enjoy, the energy that they both enjoy, I think that was carried over firstly by Russell, but also quite happily by me. I think he wrote the characters in very similar ways, so that's fun to play, and it makes sense for both those characters. That sort of that front-footedness, that wide-eyedness, that innocence, actually, in a way, which is not necessarily what you might expect of Casanova. But again, I think that's the brilliance of what Russell did with that character. So I'll blame Russell for that too.